You're having an abortion. You are having a motherfucking abortion.
Hi guys, it's me and my mommy here. Hi guys.
I sound just like Brown.
First of all, please excuse the way I look. It's coronavirus, you know.
Coronavirus.
It's no reason for me to get all dressed up, so I just threw on a hoodie. This is really bothering me though. How is the strings are not there anymore? I got questions for you.
You got some questions for me before you start asking me questions. I want to talk about what was going through your head when you decided in the middle of the night you was gonna call me into the front bedroom, ask me to sit on the bed, and sit there like you were just in a panic, like, and then have me play the guessing game.
What was going through my head?
I need to tell you something. I'm like, what is it?
What was going through my head was that life was over. Prepare to be punched. She's gonna do some kind of slapping, punching, something to beat me, you know.
Don't make me look like...
No, this is what I was scared.
Am I violent? So what made you not come straight home first? Look at this. Gray hair.
Mom, I didn't even want to tell nobody. He wanted to tell his mama, so he picked me up and took me to his mama's house at like 8 something in the morning. Maybe earlier than that, because he couldn't sleep. Got in the car, went to his house, told his mom in this hoodie. Wow, it's crazy. And then I came home and I laid down in the bed and I was just like, I can't do this. I can't. So I waited till nighttime, and then his dad was like, you need to tell your parents. How come you haven't told your parents yet? And I was like, because I'm scared. He was like, what you scared for? I mean, it's done. What are you scared for? Like, you know what, I do need to tell her. I was just like, how am I supposed to tell my mom this? How am I supposed to say this to my mom? So I was sitting on the bed. I was like, just call her in there. You came in there and you sat on the bed. And I told you.
No, you didn't. You dragged it out so long. I started sweating. But by the time the night was over, I was drenched. No, but for real, you just kept saying, he's short. He gonna be
focus.
Humpty Dumpty. So, finally, you don't even say it. I say it.
Yeah, what I did say was, I think I need an abortion.
No, you didn't say that first.
Yeah, I did. I said,
no.
I think I have to get an abortion.
No. First thing you said, I said, are you pregnant? And you said, and then you went, I think I can't have it. I can't do this tonight. I think I need an abortion. I can't do this. You went crazy, and I was like, no, you having a baby. I can't believe this. See, you didn't get a lot of chances like a lot of women.
Yeah, I didn't.
A lot of women get chance after chance after chance. You know, it skips them. You get hit, boom. I know you had some sense of birth control and contraceptives. And I'm like, why didn't you use it?
But I did. That's the thing. We weren't just always not safe.
Right.
Of course not.
Right. So, once I was so angry. I went from total fury, burning, anger to upset. And then it started coming down. And then I had to put myself in your shoes. I was like, okay. This me, and I'm 18. And I'm sitting on the foot of the bed telling my mama I'm pregnant. My mama would have killed me.
Really?
Dead.
No, my grandma Betty would not have done that. No.
My mama would have killed me.
No, she wouldn't.
Okay. But yeah, which you know is so surprising how she responded to you when she found out that you were pregnant. Oh, it was joy. It was complete and utter joy. But if it had been me, I know she wouldn't have been as happy or as excited for her 18-year-old daughter as she was for mine. Okay. So I dealt with that. I know your dad was pacing the floor because we was in there for hours, just me and you, trying to figure it out. And you were so upset. And then I felt like, okay, I don't want you to feel like you alone in this. I don't want you to feel like I'm so angry that I hate you. I don't want you. I need to be your mama right now. Lord, it was so hard. It was so hard. I cried for weeks. Literally. But before I even get to all that, you know, we went through, I mean, okay, so we go through all this anger, and you tell me you don't want me to tell your dad, and I know I can't keep that kind of secret from him. No, our relationship is too close for me to keep that from him, because your first thought was that I'm having an abortion. It was. And I went from you're not having an abortion to you're having an abortion. You are having a motherfucking abortion. Because in the longer the story goes, you know, I really had to think. I had to dig deep and be like, okay, what we gonna do? We either gonna deal with grief or grace. We're gonna deal with misery or mercy. Fear or faith.
Well, that's a big one.
Fear or faith. I say that to your daddy all the time. You can't have both. You can't be full of fear and have faith at the same time. And that brings me to a story to when, you know, you were a little girl and when you made your decision to keep your babies. Yeah. I think I'm jumping ahead because I want to tell the story about how we decided it was going to be an abortion. Mm-hmm. So before I get to that, we decided that it was going to be an abortion. And the reason I wanted you to have an abortion, baby, is because, and I don't care what y'all think about it, no. I wanted her to have an abortion because I know exactly who she is, right? And I know that there are some things that I wanted her to work on before she became a mother, right? But I also had to eventually come to the conclusion that this is not my journey. This is not my walk. And ride with my daughter with whatever decision, you know, she made for herself and her life and her future.
Wait, pause.
Okay.
So basically, I know you're hearing all this talk about abortion. It's like, oh my God, you guys are murderers. I hate you guys.
And
first of all,
your mom and them had one.
Stop.
Your auntie and them
Mom,
had one.
stop. Listen, listen. I don't think anybody knows how prevalent like abortions are because people don't talk about it. Nobody's gonna tell you, yeah, I got pregnant, but I got an abortion. Like
it's happening.
Your aunt, your cousins, they might go through that, but they're not gonna say it because that's just not something you tell somebody about. But that's a personal decision that I feel like a woman has the choice of making.
That's right.
If she feel like she can't take care of her baby, or two, and if she feels like she can't. I feel like, okay, a 5-week abortion, people say there's a fetal heartbeat, whatever the case may be, it is life. It is life, and I do agree that you're taking life away from something that didn't ask to be killed or whatever.
It's your choice.
It's your choice. That's a choice that person makes, and for something like you, who are you to judge, basically? Right. You're nobody to judge. You're probably doing the same thing that they're doing to like create a child.
Just didn't get caught up.
Exactly. You just didn't get caught up. So like even with pregnancy, when they see younger people, 18-year-old or below, getting pregnant, it's like,
a lot of y'all little ones out there.
A lot of y'all started way before me, and you're younger than me. Just know that.
Oh, I gotta say this too. So if you grew up with Alana, I probably should say this for then. You probably at some point considered Alana a goody two shoes.
Yeah.
She definitely still is that goody two shoes, but that does not mean she's without fault. That does not mean she's without sin. That does not mean that she's perfect. Oh my gosh.
Like, I was always, like, out of all my friends, I was the last one to lose their virginity. I was that person, right? So, basically what I was saying is, like, people will see a pregnant person and be like, wow, I can't believe they did that. You're literally doing the same thing. You're just not getting caught up. Yeah. Which is okay if you're being safe, but people are not safe all the time. And they still don't get caught up. People did worse than me and my boyfriend and still did not get caught up. When I say that, I mean just from, like, person to person, no protection or nothing. And just, it didn't happen for them. But, like, you can't use that against me.
Right.
And you can't be judgmental. Right. And if you do, you can judge, do whatever you want, but God knows who you are with your heart. So your judgment towards me is not really going to do anything for you. But, you know, and what I was saying about abortion, you can't really judge somebody based on, like, if they feel like they couldn't handle that. Like, if they already have kids, accidentally got pregnant, they couldn't handle another kid. Or if they were my age and was like, I'm not ready to be a parent, I'm not strong enough to do this, they weren't ready, they have that decision to make. So now we can continue with the whole abortion without you guys being like, oh my gosh, they're murderers. Like, I kept them, but I had the choice of not keeping them.
Right, because, you know, if it had been me and I had been 18 and not being where I am in my faith now, I definitely would have had an abortion at 18 years old. I definitely would have had an abortion because I wouldn't have even been thinking about faith. But that's not who you are. That's not who you are. I can remember, I'm going to tell this little story right here. You know, there's somebody that's close to us who has fear. You know, people are brought up differently. Okay, we're not going to name no names. But anyway, so this person, I knew that they would be around and that eventually my children would see that fear in them that I see. Let's just say they are afraid of storms, okay? And this has a lot to do with who Alana is. But and every time it was storm, I would just see terror and fear. And so I tried to, when I started to see it show up in my kids, I was like, oh, I'm nipping that in the bud. Because that person, that fear was put into them. I heard the story, you know, after you've been around somebody 20 years, you know them, right? Well, you know some stuff about them. But anyway, so I had heard the story that this person had older siblings that would use a storm to scare them. Like, you know, you better sit down or the storm gonna get you. Or, you know, they would totally terrify this person. And to this day, you know, almost 50 years later, you got somebody scared of storms. That's crazy, isn't it? So when that showed up in my kids, I was like, oh, hell no, no. And so I can remember one day it was lightning, thunder, and storming so bad. And Alana was so scared. And I was like, oh, we ain't finna do this. I said, Alana, I want you to go to the front door. And I want you to open that door. And I want you to speak to the storm. And whatever it is that you feel, and I want you to say it to the storm. And she opened that door. And Alana was probably about 8 or 9 years old. And she stood in that door and she was just screaming, I want you to stop in the name of Jesus. I don't want to be scared. And you just spoke to the storm. And do you remember what happened, Alana? After that, it stopped. It completely stopped. And from that day forward, you know, from you, I didn't see very much fear. And that's why I knew when you told me you was laying in my bed and you had what you always in my bed. You had your hands behind your head and you was like, Mom, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of nothing. I'm not scared of childbirth. I'm not scared of being a mother. I'm not scared of anything. And when you said that to me, I knew that you were ready to move forward with your decision to be a mother. I knew it because I had tried my best not to, you know, let seeds of fear and doubt grow in your mind, not just your mind, your sister's minds. But yeah, but from that day on, when you spoke to that storm, and then that day you kept telling everybody, I spoke to the storm and the storm stopped and the sun came out and it started shining. You know what I'm saying? It was like no fear from there on out, but you still had a fear of God, not fear to where you're afraid of God, but where, you know, you had him in a place where I respect him. You know, I honor him. I'm going to do what he wants me to do. And I know that had a lot to do with your decision when you were making your decision to have your baby. But anyway, I'm taking you to the abortion clinic. Because your daddy is not ready to be a grandfather, okay?
Right.
I mean, we were scared, but I still didn't want you to have that fear. So I still tried to hide that, but I wanted to show you both sides. I had to be honest with you. I had to say, okay, Alana, you know, you gonna walk through this valley and you gonna remember you got God with you, or you gonna walk through this valley and it's gonna be dark as hell. You know, it's gonna be times when you by yourself. And I remember your dad, you know, saying that a lot. But, you know, you just had to, we had to weigh the pros and cons for you, and you had to decide on who you were. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, ooh, last semester in college was hard for us. I had to talk you off the ledge. I don't know how many times. It was rough because it was your first semester in college. But anyway.
And I had a 3.8. 3.8.
You did good.
Yeah, so.
You did.
Excuse me.
Anyway, you would still calling me crying every day.
Cause it was just, too much.
Was. But so anyway, we make we make the appointment to go and see about an abortion. I mean, we had come to terms that we were not going to have a baby.
Nope. And there was no sadness to it. I felt like I wasn't going to grieve. And that's what my boyfriend didn't understand either. He was like, what do you mean? There's going to be grief. You're going to feel bad. I was like, no, I'm not. It's just, I'm moving along with my life. It's just not what I want right now. It happened. I have the option of it being taken away. So let's just go ahead and move forward. That was my mindset at the time. This was when I was literally about 5 weeks pregnant.
You know, my husband and I had already ultimately said, no matter how hard this is for us, whatever Alana decides is what we're going to ride with. But it was definitely harder for Daddy than it was for Mommy. It was definitely harder. Because I was just like, Lord have mercy, in disbelief. And still some days I look at you and I'm like, I cannot believe.
Right, still some days where I'll be like, dang, then I'll be like, you can't do that, you can't be like that. And it's not like a dang, I'm sad, but it's like a dang, I can't believe this.
Right, that's what it is.
And I feel like every time Dad sees me, like, when I be just walking around with sports bras, I feel like he just shake his head and then be like, but it's okay. But he doesn't do that. I just feel like that's what he does, because sometimes I do that to myself. Because
really, what do you feel your daddy is feeling right now? Like today, how do you think Daddy feels about it? Has he come to terms with it?
Yeah.
He absolutely has come to terms with it. It took him, he was the last one.
Yeah.
It took the whole family to get him to come around. I'm trying to tell everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody. He didn't have but maybe one person on his side, and that was
Uncle Shad.
His brother.
And Uncle still is texting me asking if it's a prank.
Baby, look who's calling.
Grandma! Hi, Grandma!
Hey!
I miss you!
No, you don't.
I do, I promise.
You don't, because if you did, you come see me.
You said you had a cough.
I did. But guess what happened?
What?
You know your Papa, he used to gargle his throat with peroxide.
Uh-huh.
And I can't gargle. And I tried to gargle with some peroxide because my throat was feeling scratchy.
Oh my God.
I like to strangle myself to death. Y'all out messing around with Corona on the loose.
No, we're shooting a video.
We're filming a video in the
Say
car.
hi.
Hi, video.
Anyway, baby, we made an appointment. We get to the abortion clinic, and when I tell you, we get lost. We had a rough day that day. You and I argued a lot that day.
We did.
It was mad, sad, hurtful.
That whole beginning of the year was just a bunch of different... I feel like something was aligned differently in the solar system or something, because I believe in that stuff.
The
like
universe, the atmosphere.
What is it called? And with the signs, Taurus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's this?
Zodiac
signs and stuff like that with the moon and the... whatever. I believe in stuff like that. And I just feel like energy was just... It was just off that whole time. Of course, me being pregnant helped that. But it was just...
We fight all morning on the way to the abortion clinic. I'm still like, why didn't you take birth control? Why didn't you tell me you were ready to have sex? I'm talking to you about your virginity every day. So we have a group text, me and her other sister, and I'm constantly talking to them about life. And I have been talking to my sweet baby about how precious her virginity was. And yeah. And matter of fact, the day that she found out she was pregnant, I had sent a message like that
about virginity
messages, and I remember, and neither one of them responded to me.
I'm literally crying right now about I found out I was pregnant, and she texts me about how wonderful and spectacular my virginity is and to keep it. And I'm just like, I don't even have time for this. I'm turning my phone off. It's just more depressing. My lips look real frosty. They're not that frosty.
And you know what else, too? I was thinking, I know that these kids are going to want to experiment with sex. And I know, you know, we'll get around to it.
Sorry.
You get to the abortion clinic after being lost. And baby, when I tell you, first of all, when we pulled up, they got the signs. Hey.
Please don't do this.
Like, Lana, stay focused. Look straight ahead. Okay?
And I wasn't like appalled to the abortion. I wasn't like, it's not like my mom's forcing me to do this or anything, because me and my boyfriend had this decision made before I even got pregnant. We like, if that ever happened, it's abortion. It's gonna be an abortion. Like, this isn't just, this was me and my boyfriend, this was me and my mom, and then the whole boyfriend thing that kind of changes, blah blah blah. But yeah, so I walked back there, and then it's plenty of women in the room.
It's full of women. Old women, young women, black women, white women, Mexican women, Asian women, Chinese, Vietnamese, all the E's.
And then nobody else is going to go in there
full.
And see.
You don't have nowhere to park. Y'all getting abortions, but y'all ain't talking about it.
Exactly. Like,
all day,
literally. Like, seriously, you have to go in and actually witness it firsthand. And since I did, I know.
Yeah.
You guys don't know. Or if you have never been in an abortion clinic, you really don't know.
Yeah.
You just think it's something that only 1 in every 100 people will do. No, 100 people do. Okay? People with families still get abortions because they don't want another kid.
Yeah. It was a revolving door, literally. The door was boom, boom, boom. No, what happened when you came out? You was kind of smiling. I was like...
Because I found out it was twins.
Yeah, but you didn't say nothing. Then you wait till we got in the car, and then what? How did you tell me?
I said, look, I can show you guys. This is exactly what I did. I said, I have to show you something. And she was like, what is it? You know, she kind of antsy.
So you go in the clinic, they give you a few days to think about it before you actually go through with the abortion.
Yeah.
You know, they go in, they make sure you're pregnant, and then you can schedule to have the abortion.
Here is what I showed my mother.
What's the date on there?
January 8th.
Okay.
That is exactly what I showed her. This was the night before the ultrasound. This is the night before I found that it was twins. So I had a feeling it was twins. But at the same time, I didn't believe it was twins. Just like I still didn't believe I was pregnant. Until I saw it on the ultrasound thing. And I was like, 2?
Whoa.
And then I was like, a part of me
told me it was twins. I was like, you got to be kidding.
Literally.
Oh my God.
And then part of me, the decision making when it came to me not getting the abortion, I felt like, first of all, this was a gene that was gifted to me from my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother. Mm-hmm. She had twins. And I was like, okay, you take away 1. But how do you take away 2? I just couldn't see myself doing that, because I remember when I was little, I would literally say I wanted twins. I don't know why I said that. Don't say things like that if you don't want it. Like, I was about Nyla's age, and I just thought it was so cool to have twins. Second thing is, I was just like, some other spiritual things happened between me and God that I'm not going to explain, because not everybody's understanding of God is like the same as mine is. So y'all gonna think I'm delusional when I'm literally not. you know?
Right.
But my family knows. They understand. And so, like, I just all of a sudden felt like I could do it. It wasn't I can't do it. It was a you will do it.
Been
Faith.
gifted.
It's all it was. It was just having faith. Because I know what God has done for me. Like, I know just in general who God is, what he can do, and that, like, he's just so real. He's literally so real. And I wish everybody could be able to experience a great relationship with God. And you can, but, like, I guess it starts when you're little. With my parents raising me how they raised me. And they didn't raise me like, get your Bible, pray to God, love Jesus. It wasn't even like that. It was like an individual, me and God had to go through this. It was me and him, but it was my family at the same time.
Because like I said, anybody that has known Lana has probably assumed that she was good at two shoes, but anybody that knows me knows better than that. Right? I mean, there's so much God in me, but I am polar opposite.
The lighting's going bad.
Whatever. Yeah, it's getting darker outside. That's all it is. But go ahead.
Yeah, I knew I could do it. It was like you can. It wasn't it's gonna be easy. It's not gonna be handed to me like, there you go, Lonnie, you get a reward for the sin that you've done. It wasn't like that. It was definitely
I'm optimistic. I'm always saying it's easy.
Exactly. That's where I get it from. I am, and some people just think it's like you're delusional. Like, you need to think of what it is and what it, like, don't expect the best out of stuff. What do you mean?
Yes, we do.
We expect the best and we're gonna get the best.
Right.
Like, I don't get that.
Right.
Literally. And I'm very happy that I made that decision. Even if I did get the abortion, I would be just fine. None of you would know. I mean, none of this would be going on. I feel like I would be just fine. And I wouldn't be, like, mad. I would still think about it, of course. You're going to still have those thoughts, but, you know.
And so back to us talking in the abortion clinic when I was saying, you know, this is the right decision. What I'm saying is we had come to the conclusion that you were going to have the abortion, and I wanted you to set yourself free. I didn't want you to have the baggage, the bondage, all that stuff that people try to tell you. Oh, if you have an abortion, you gone for the rest of your life regret it. I mean, come on.
You trying to make sure I was good.
You're okay. And I wanted you to mentally be set free. You can live with your decision, but you making that decision. So I want you to be good with that decision, whatever that decision is. And if it is abortion, you're going to be okay with that, all right? And I need you to know that.
You're okay.
Right.
You're going to be okay. And if you don't, you're going to be okay.
Right, right. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But, so now we have twins on the way. However, we came to the conclusion, we did. And I'm happy about it. And I'm going to be lovey.
A lovey, not a grandma. That's all. I want to keep talking.
Well, that's quite a sight.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, bye.
No!
I always wanted to do that because everybody does that in their video. We get to find out the gender.
We do. Next video.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Alright.
I don't think you guys are going to find out that soon, though, are they?
No. You guys are not going to find out until
gender reveal.
I get to 600 subscribers. I hope you guys enjoyed this TED Talk with me and my mom.
Definitely a TED Talk.
Bye, guys.
Oh, you're back to yourself.
Give him a kiss.
Oh, you.